What is up, y'all? Welcome back to episode 14 of Guardians franchise. We are here in the ALCS against the Baltimore Orioles, and I am very excited. Coming off that 7-game set against the Twins where we had to come back. If you missed that episode, let me just give you a brief overview. We dropped the first two in Minnesota, so we're thinking, hey, just get it back in Cleveland and we're good. We get game 3, but drop game 4. So we're up against it. What do? We win 3 straight. 5-4 win on a Andres Jimenez walk-off, then a 6-1 win that, felt pretty comfortable for the bulk of it. We got up relatively early. In fact, we got up very early, 1-0 in the first, then made it 3-1 in the third, then 5-1, then 6-1, and that was the final. And then in game 7, it was another one that was, kind of comfortable. We scored 2 early. They did get 2 back in the second, but then we made it 4-2 in the fourth, and we held on to that lead all the way through, tacked on an extra run in the ninth there. So, they mounted occasional threats, but they only had 5 hits. So we did pretty well against the Twins there in those final 3 games to come all the way back. And the aforementioned Andres Jimenez did indeed get series MVP as well. Hit a casual 583, 643, 667 slash line. Now, wait. I thought it was just a walk-off hit, not a walk-off homer. I thought he had a walk-off homer, Andres Jimenez, but I'm wrong on that. It is a 2-run homer. Okay, then, it's the season. Never mind. Playoffs. There we go. He went 8 for 31 with 2 homers, 4 ribbies. So, 258, 303, 484 slash line for Jimenez. Not as crazy, but the 2 homers, including the big walk-off, very clutch. So no issues there with him getting it. You probably could have gone a lot of different ways. So the guy who's, won them a game, or won us a game, I should say, let's go ahead and go with him. I like it. But now we face the juggernaut Baltimore Orioles. They are the reigning World Series champions. They won 101 games back in 2023, 99 games last year, and 96 this year. So they're going down from that standpoint. But make no mistake about it, their talent is not. In fact, they had a -5 Pythag this year, meaning based on their runs scored and runs allowed, they probably should have won closer to 101 games. It's a pretty simple formula that takes your run differential to create a expected record. It's really tried and true. The bottom line is they were excellent. And frankly, whether they are a true 96 win team or more of a 101 win team, it doesn't matter. It's great no matter what, because those are both good win totals. Looking over the board here on their rankings, tons of firsts on the offensive side. A couple of seconds mixed in there. I see a 4th in homers, which is kind of interesting. So they do mash the ball. 4th is still very good, but not 1st or 2nd there when they're that high and everything else. And then 9th in strikeouts. So, they will swing and miss a bit, and you would think the power would come from there. Again, I'm not here to shade a 4th ranking. I'm very, very afraid of them. I'm just a little bit surprised that they aren't up there in that top 3 there, as they clearly have a big power-focused offense. But they can do it all. They've also got the great base running. Then on the pitching side, it is a bunch of single-digit rankings, but you see that they are 5th in runs allowed. By the way, they were 1st in runs scored. And then 4th with starters ERA, 9th with the bullpen. Bullpen might be where we can get them. We'll have to see. We'll take a look at the talent here in just a moment. And then the defensive metrics are fine here. 6th in defensive efficiency, 4th in zone rating. They are 1st in strikeouts on the mound. So that is one thing where, they're 9th in bullpen ERA. And let's see here. Do they give up anything in particular? Their walks are a little bit problematic at 7th. A little bit for a top tier team. But then with that strikeout total, they can work their way out of jams. Like, that is very clutch when you're just missing bats. You put yourself in a little bit of a hole with runners on, multiple strikeouts in a row, and all of a sudden, you snuff out a jam there. So let's see what they got. Let's start with the pitching. I feel like a lot of times on the team reviews, we start with the hitting, and then I realize that I've taken an hour to do it, and I end up speeding through the pitching. So let's give the bulk of the time here to the pitching, and then we'll see where we're at with the hitting. First thing I notice here when I look at this page is just a lot of blue and definitely a ton of green, but a lot of blue jumping out at me. Corbin Burns, Grayson Rodriguez, Felix Bautista immediately catch my eye. The double 60s on Ynier Cano and Hunter Green out here in the bullpen. We'll get to that in a moment. But their rotation is headlined by Grayson Rodriguez, coming off a second straight 33 start season. He's rounded into a really good starter here. Not quite ace, but very much right there. 3.15 ERA, 110 whip, and 186 innings. Not missing much to get that ace tag, especially with 2 seasons basically emulating the same thing in both years. He's right there. And he did lead the league here in WAR with 5.5. So he is in a Cy Young contention window here for sure, and he's awesome. Corbin Burnes is the number 2. He's coming off back-to-back 34 start seasons of about 187, 188 innings. This year, 4.16 ERA, 121 whip, 4.41, 121 the year before that. So not quite top of the scale stud for sure. More of like a mid-rotation innings eater as he's kind of gotten into his 30s. So still very useful, very good. There's going to be a ton of good starts within a 34 start season that has a 4.16 ERA, but the occasional blow up seems to kind of push that ERA a bit higher than we would expect from somebody as good as him. Still very, very good. Still worried that he could trounce us, of course. Let's go ahead and do this real quick. Let's put it on postseason. So the postseason numbers are showing on this board, and then I can get into their season numbers when I click the profile. Although I will say they have only the 1 round, so they don't have too much of a sample there. John Gray is the number 3, although the way he's pitched since coming over from Texas, he's probably their number 2 behind Grayson just in terms of performance. 3.66 ERA, 116 whip since coming over in 64 innings. Now, he wasn't quite as good in Texas. 5.08 ERA, 139 whip. So he came over here, ran really hot. And it is kind of some run hot here because as I'm looking at it, his skills did improve, 5 points to a 16% strikeout minus walk, but that's not eye-popping. And the home run rate only dropped from 1.7 to 1.4, both of which are, pretty high. And the BABIP only dropped 4 points, but the left on base rate jumped from 74 to 81. That's a big factor. So even though the skills didn't greatly improve, the ERA has been able to because he's gotten out of jams. He's stranded base runners. So he's pitching very well for them. Probably true talent, more of that mid-rotation guy that Corbin Burnes is as well for John Gray. And then Trevor Rogers is going to be their 4th starter here in this series. They got him from Miami last year. He had a little bit of a hybrid role for them, 8 starts, 6 relief appearances, but then fully back in the rotation this year with 33 starts, 4.87 ERA, 135 whip. Kind of a league averages type, another innings eater though. 155 innings from your number 4-5 type, that's not bad. I know I even feel weird saying like innings eater for somebody who has a $150 because that is not what innings eating used to be. You used to do like 2.25 minimum to be considered an innings eater, but we live in different times right now. You get 33 turns out of one of your back end starters. If you're getting 33 or 30 plus, let's say, all the way down the line, then those 4 and 5s are workhorses. If you don't have to turn to a bunch of minor league guys and tap into your depth, that is super valuable. So we will give him, at least a modern day workhorse tag there for Trevor Rogers. So there's the playoff stats again. How many games do they even have? 5, 6, 4. That's right, they swept. I forgot. So we're not going to glean much from that, so I'm actually going to take them off. I thought it'd be cooler to look at those, but there's just not much to go off of in 4 games. So let's look at the bullpen real quick. Sort by innings as we like to do. We see that Yennier Cano, I got to shout it out, 95 innings and 67 appearances. I love it. In fact, it seems like at least this year, the game engine is much more inclined to do that and leverage these 30, 35 stamina relievers more often, which, like I said, that's always been an advantage that our teams have had because I'm willing to do that, get our best relievers more innings, and I'm glad to see that the computer's doing it as well. I wish real life would follow suit a bit more and let some of these great relievers be true stoppers and get multiple innings like every time out, or at least very close to. In those 67 appearances, 31 shutdowns for Yennier Cano, 9 meltdowns, so a very good rate there. 101 whip is incredible. 24% K rate. He's not off the charts with the Ks, but he's extreme ground ball with great home run rate, so he doesn't have to be. He's awesome. He's not the closer. He is still the setup, though, because Bautista is the dude in the 9th there. We'll get to him in just a moment, but we're going to keep going in the innings order here. one of the starters that they used, so they didn't really have a true fifth, it looks like. It looks like these four, Rodriguez, Burns, Rogers, and then Gray when he came over, were guys that they relied upon. And then you got three guys here with double digits, but low double digits. You got Tyler Wells with 10, Hunter Green with 11, and Gavin Williams, our own Gavin Williams, with 16 starts. They really have not committed to him as a starter, which is kind of interesting. Wells, 10 starts, 25 relief appearances. Quick look at his splits. Actually been kind of the same in both roles. Wasn't one of those situations where he got markedly better in the bullpen, at least from a results standpoint. From a skills standpoint, he definitely did get better. 8% strikeout minus walk as a starter, 12% in relief. That's a pretty decent jump there, but even 12% isn't great. So Tyler Wells might be somebody we can get to. Hunter Green, 11 starts for him, 36 relief appearances. And in those 36 relief appearances, he's been awesome. Now, he had the transition to the pen that you would expect from somebody with his stuff. It wasn't working as a starter. 7.04 ERA with a 161 whip, kind of backing up the suckiness. But then goes to the bullpen, turns it on. 2.39 ERA, 0.88 whip, 29% K rate. He's dominant. Now, they aren't using him for the multi-innings, so I think they're kind of wasting that since he has 55 stamina. But I'm not going to be mad if they continue that. Maybe do that next year with him. Against us, you can keep using him for an inning or less. You don't have to keep him in there very long. We'll be okay with that for Hunter Green. Our own Gavin Williams, 81 innings this year, split 16 relief appearances, 5 starts. 16 starts, 5 relief appearances. Jeez, can't talk. 81 in the third innings, 5.86 ERA, 152 whip. Just not that good. I don't think we sold them a bill of goods. I think we sold them somebody who looked like he was going to still be a pretty darn good starter. I was doing the old gotta give to get situation, and it was tough to give him up. I'm not just saying that now that he's bad and I can kind of act like, oh, it was so hard. We didn't mean to give him crap. I definitely didn't think he was going to be crap. If he'd been doing this for us, I would have been pretty disappointed. Obviously, he wasn't pitching his best for us with a 94 WRC plus through 6 starts, but in no way did I think he was unraveling. I was like, okay, well, we have some starter depth. Let's see if we can get a big bat, but it just hasn't really come together here in Baltimore. And the biggest issue has been home runs, man. 1.8 homer 9 this year. And this is supposed to be a park where homers aren't as big of a problem. So, geez, you wonder what would have been if he had stayed with Cleveland, where they definitely don't have a home run suppressing left field the way Camden does. So who knows? But anyway, Gavin Williams just hasn't been that good, and that's kind of a bummer for them. Obviously, I'm not sad about it, but I would prefer to see even trades, even if the other team that we're facing, we faced them in the playoffs and the guy that we gave them ends up doing well against us. That's fine. I'm not trying to rip the computer. You guys know that. Barlow turned out to be a better pickup. Now, this year he fell back off, but 50 and 2/3 last year of a 160 ERA and an 091 whip. Came crashing back to earth this year, although I'm trying to figure out why. It looks like he just didn't strand runners. The BABIP shot up 99 points and took his left on base rate from 82 to 63. So the answers are all there. Now the question is, are his skills degrading or did he just kind of get unlucky? But Barlow's next up there with 74 innings. And then the closer, Bautista. Kind of your standard, just be the 1 inning guy. We don't need to push you. We have other guys that we will push the multi-innings. So he got 55 innings in 57 appearances, 3.93 ERA, 118 whip. Decent enough. 34% K rate. We know he can be scary. Does have a little tinge of a home run problem at 1.1 that we could maybe exploit. When you're picking nits, when you're talking about a stud, 1.1 is encouraging. Like, ooh, we could maybe get him there. That's not a crazy home run rate, but for a closer, it's a little up there. Then they got Tyler Alexander, John McMillan, and Keegan Aiken, who all threw 30-something innings counts of a mixed bag of results. Tyler Alexander was pretty good. McMillan was pretty rotten. And then Aiken was in-between-ish, leaning closer to McMillan than Alexander, though. So 2 lefties and a righty there. I imagine that those 3 won't be getting the bulk of innings. I don't want to include Alexander there. He'll be part of it. But McMillan and Aiken will probably function in more, mop-up roles or innings-eating roles if a game is out of hand one way or the other. So there's the pitching. Let's take a look at this offense here. Behind the dish, they have Adley Rutschman, who, of course, is the man, the myth, the legend. He's been living up to the hype for sure. He's got 3 All-Star bids. He's got a Silver Slugger. Of course, he has last year's title. Coming off a 4-win season here. Only 16 homers, but when you get on base at a 372 clip and do everything he does, that's fine. Play great defense. Crazy part is they've got a pretty strong backup in Samuel Basallo. Is it Basallo or Basallo? I think with the double L would be Basallo, but I've heard Basallo, so that could just be people that don't know how to pronounce the name. No. Number 4 prospect did debut this year for 73 games with 240 plate appearances, so he will expire that prospect ranking, but reached as high as 4 there. That's pretty impressive, and he looks every bit like the next great stud for them. Put up a 1.5 WAR with 9 homers in those 240 plate appearances, so he is awesome. The crazy thing is he's a backup. He's a backup catcher and first baseman, and he's out here with a blue rating already at 70. Crazy. That's the first thing that jumps out on the offensive side is the blue as well. 3 80s, a 75, and a 70. Are you kidding me with this club? And it's not even unrealistic. And by the way, before you go feeling bad about anything with the Gavin Williams-Kerstead deal, don't forget, not only did they get the Barlow gem last year, but Kyle Manzardo, their first baseman, is a good player. So I know sometimes I fight, I shadow box ghosts over here because nobody said anything negative about the trade, and here I am defending it. I just feel a little crummy that Gavin Williams sucks because, like I said, I wasn't trying to get out from under some crappy player. I thought I was giving them a pretty fine bat, which I definitely did, and a nice pitcher. Turns out the nice pitcher was the reliever, though. But Manzo put up a league average 93 games last year, but then jumped to 145 WRC plus this year. Nice solid 3.5 win season, 32 bombs, 98 ribbies, 286 average. So very much within range of that classic 300, 100 type season. So he's awesome, bottom line. So they're not feeling bad about the deal, even with Gavin Williams not quite delivering. Jackson Holliday coming in at second base, just 7 WAR after 6 WAR last year. He has arrived. He's a god, MVP candidate, basically carbon copied last year offensively, and maybe just added better defense and base running and a little bit more volume to get that extra 1 win. He's amazing. And he's going to be amazing in real life, too. I'm not at all concerned by the little cup of coffee that he's had that didn't go well so far in the majors. Kobe Mayo's over at third. Put up a nice 3 WAR season himself in 149 games. 114 WRC plus, 34 bombs, 121 ribs. Just a monster power guy there. In the middle of their order. Sits in the 4 spot there, and he is a beast. Gunnar Henderson over at short. Get used to me just saying the same shit about everyone. He's a beast. He's an absolute star. I'm terrified. 4.4 WAR actually is down from last year's 7-win season, but give me a break. He's awesome. Looks like he did suffer an injury with 116 games. In fact, multiple injuries. Yeah, sprained wrist, 5 weeks. More wrist soreness. Cost him 2 more weeks. But that was on the other hand. So both wrists and then a strained hamstring for 2 weeks late in the season. So those 3 injuries piled up, cost him some time. He only played 116 games and seems to have eaten into his power, which with a pair of wrist injuries, that makes some sense. So the power output went from 30 homers to 14, and, that would check out with the injuries that he had. Still just 24, and of course, obviously, absolutely terrifying when we have to face him. Colton Cowser, this just in, superstar, stud, amazing. Led the league with 119 runs, 5 WAR, 19 homers, 94 ribs. He's unbelievable. A devilish 666 plate appearances of very, very good work. I love Colton Cowser. Big fan of his in real life. Has definitely cooled down since that crazy run in April that he had, but I think he's going to be fine too. So I've heard some people talking about maybe cutting him in fantasy leagues. If you're in a super shallow league, I get it. You got to make moves quicker, and you might have to move off of Cowser and maybe check in on him down the line. But if you're in a deeper league, I think you just hold through this. Of course, he wasn't going to keep up the 2,000 OPS that he was running in April there. But if you look at his entire season so far, it's 50 games of a 795 OPS. I think that's who Cowser can be. Like if you kind of extrapolate that, and I'm always cautious about extrapolating baseball stats, but if you look at those real life numbers and you just kind of 3x them, 50 games, that would get you to 150. I mean, you're looking at 21 homers and like 10 steals. A 2010 type season with decent runs and ribbies. Yeah, that's awesome. Sorry for the detour there on real life Colton Cowser fantasy, but I love him and I'm just trying to encourage people not to cut right now. Cedric Mullins, grasping by a thread onto his job right now with a 1 WAR, which is generously rounded up from the .7, 14 homers, 13 steals, 102 WRC plus, still can play a nice center, and that might be saving him right now as it is in real life. Anthony Santander over in right did dip down to a 91 WRC plus after a 151 last year, so he really fell off. Had kind of an MVP caliber type season. Maybe got some down ballot last year. I wouldn't be surprised if he did. Let's see. Did he? Do they mention in here if you... I think they mentioned like if you get voted top 3. But I don't know if it would say like, oh, he finished 7th. And maybe he just didn't. But I would think that, 44, 135 with 5 WAR could at least get some down ballot consideration. But this year really fell off. I don't know what it was. I mean, he played 149 games, so he seemed healthy. Might just be standard variance of a 30-something, because that's pretty tough. He definitely did fall off. But he can get us for a homer at any moment. His defense has really jumped up to exceptional here, too. So he is still very, very scary. And then Ryan Mountcastle playing DH, he picked up some of that slack that Santander dropped with 14 homers in just 168 plate appearances. His WRC plus total at 172 was higher than his plate appearance total. Now, of course, that means it's a small sample, but it's still very, very good for Ryan Mountcastle. And they just keep churning out studs. Westberg doesn't even start, y'all. In fact, he's kind of fallen down a little bit in this sim, a little bit more of a backup kind of a utility type, and only put up a 62 WRC plus. But at age 26, I still wouldn't give up on him. I wonder if maybe we check in and see if they would be open to trading him, maybe a little bit of a buy low. Like, it's not a great profile. I understand why he's not performing that well, but maybe high leader, high intelligence. Maybe we got some relationships that could work out. I don't know. Could be interesting to trade for. We don't really need middle infield. Like, that's not our biggest need, but I still kind of believe in Westberg. They've also got Connor Norby, who they can't even find space for. 98 games with a 135 WRC plus and 2 WAR. Just casually on their bench, the 57th prospect. Unbelievable. And then Dairon Blanco is the backup outfielder. He is here for speed and defense. That's what he delivers, and that's what they expect out of him. So there you go. There's their team. It's pretty nasty. I'm very nervous about this one, y'all. It's not going to be easy at all. If we're going to be able to do this, it's going to be a challenge. So, we got Rocchio back on the roster here. Remember, he got healthy early into that last series, but we couldn't bring him back on because nobody else got hurt. Which, I'd rather that. But if this went 7 and we somehow win and made the World Series, could Bieber be back for it? We are right here, the 23rd. Oh, we're going to play game 1 of this on my birthday. So this is a week right there, the 30th, and then the 6th. I mean, it would be into the World Series. So if game 7 would be on the 1st here, let's assume that it'd be at least one off day. Game 1, game 2, off day, 3, 4. If he came back right there, I mean, I'm just saying, I don't want to get too far ahead. Okay, we haven't even won this. We haven't even started this series. I'm just saying, okay? I'm not planning for shit. So I don't want to hear like, oh, you looked too far ahead. No, I'm not. I was just seeing if there's anybody coming off anytime soon, and he kind of is. But anyway, with the guys that we have available, let's check some split stuff here. All right, they have the 1 lefty starter and the 2 lefty relievers. Cool. And then as far as their hitters, their verse righty lineup only has 2 traditional righties and then all lefties and switch. Their verse lefty lineup has 3 traditional righties, 2 switches, and 4 lefties. Okay, so I don't think we're going to change anything with the bullpen based off of that. We have 3 lefties. That's totally fine. Funderburk, Arias, Henches. We got 2 lefties in the rotation. I think that totally works. I will check to see, did they show any sort of trend one way or the other against handedness during the year? Okay, they were a decent bit better against lefties, 27 and 17, good for a 613 win percentage, but then a very nice 69 and 49 against righties, 584 win percentage. So nothing that I would term as a weakness, a little bit lesser against righties. We put that in extreme quotes. I do wonder if that might mean a Bibee for Allen switch would make some sense. Now, the one thing is, Allen's been excellent here in the playoffs. Kind of want to stick with what's been working. Cantillo's been a little bumpy from a results standpoint on the ERA, but the 25% strikeout minus walk is amazing. You know, McKenzie, he's a righty, so he'd just be righty for righty, but I wonder if maybe that's the switch. Because remember, he got murked at Boston, but wasn't amazing against Minnesota. Now, part of that is on me. Don't forget. Because I was doing the risping in the innings pushes, and I burned him. I made him pitch 116 pitches. So I think we can take a couple of these runs off of his ledger. I don't know how many of the base runners we can do. Can I look at the game log? Oh, I can. Okay. So let's go to the 6th inning here. And, okay, 1 walk, 2 hits, a 2nd walk. Okay, so 2 hits and 2 walks. Let's give him like full credit for a minute. 2 hits and 2 walks. That's 4 hits then, 3 walks, 2 runs. It's quite a bit better. What about Bibee? What's he been doing here in the playoffs? He's been nails out of the bullpen. I wonder if maybe we just stick with this. He pitched in 3 of the Minnesota games, and he was downright amazing. 9 1/3 innings, 2 hits, a run, a walk, and 9 Ks. Maybe it's a don't fix what ain't broken with him type of vibe. Then I pivot and say maybe Eflin for McKenzie. I guess the question is, like, do I stick with McKenzie? Now, if I'm giving him some better credit for the Minnesota start, then we really are only talking about the dud at Boston. And then at that point, how much are we going to make off of one bad start? I think I'm talking myself into just sticking with him. Let's do that. I don't think we're going to have to start him game 1. Let's sim to tomorrow. And we're getting a little save in. We save every day during the playoffs, just to be safe. All right, yeah, it's going to go back to Cantillo. It'll be Cantillo, but then it'll probably be McKenzie 2nd, based on the way the rest is. And then Raylo would have to be 3. Okay, now on that end, that does change things a little bit, y'all. I know I'm kind of making a big drawn-out thing on this, but that would make him starting 2 and 6. That's pretty pivotal. I don't know how I feel about that. I wonder if the move then is to commit Bibee to being available for McKenzie, to where if things go south early, we pull the ripcord quickly. 2nd, 3rd inning, if we're getting 5, 6 runners on, go to Bibee for multiple innings and just be ready to go. Now the counter to that is, if you're going to have that type of a restriction on him, why not just go with Bibee from the jump? To which I would say what I'm going for, because that's just worst case. What I'm going for, of course, is 4 to 6 innings, 4 on the low end would be fine, of McKenzie leading into the middle innings being dominated by Bibee, and then we get to the bullpen that way. So I think that's the plan I'm going to map out. He's at 70% for the bullpen today, Bibee is, so we wouldn't really want to use him anyway. You can use a 70%, but I try to keep it pretty light with using guys like that. So I'm going to bench him. I actually don't know how the force bench works when you play out a game. Maybe I could override it still if we needed him. But we're going to put that bench on him right now to say we really don't want to use him for game 1. And we'll see how that goes. Uh-oh, are we freezing here? Okay. All right, so they're going to go with Grayson. Okay, so they have their normal order. Grayson, Burns, of course, because they won 4-0. All right, let's get into it. Let's see what the team matchup's looking like with the... actually, hang on. I want to look at one more thing. We didn't do this against Minnesota, and I'm not going to go back and do it, or Boston, but how did we do against them during the season? We went 8-5. So, you know, we went to the big bad bullies place. Actually, I don't know how well we did in Camden, but, you know, when we faced the cream of the crop, we stepped up. I mean, we were only 2 games worse than them. We're not some little brother shit here either. So I don't want to be framing it like that. That's on me I'm correcting myself on that one. Like, there's no need to frame it as like, oh, we're David versus Goliath. They are an amazing team, but we're a damn fine team too. So chin up, head high. So we went 8-5 against them. Who popped off? Our best hitter from a pure batting average standpoint was a guy we have no access to, Charlie Condon. He went 5 for 10 with 3 ribs, but Josh Naylor went off. 20 for 43 with 5 bombs. You love to see it. Freeman went 4 for 10, you know, tiny sample. Arias did pretty well. Rocchio went 4 for 12 with 2 homers. So he did well in limited time. 3 homers for Stowers, revenge match. That's the thing, too. I know I talked about the trade, but I haven't hyped it up enough that, like, big-time revenge games here for both sides because we pulled off a pretty massive deal with this team. So this is going to be great. For them, they had Jackson Holliday get 15 hits against us and 40 at-bats. That's excellent. 12 for Sed and 11 for Westberg. They both had 36 at-bats to do that. 3 homers for Mayo, 2 for Westberg, Manzardo, and Norby. So I told you Stowers had 3 homers and had a good slash line. Kerstead had 2 homers and a decent slash line. He wasn't great. All right, let's see the matchup comparison here. By position, oh, I see a lot of little bird faces there, and I'm not terribly surprised by that. So maybe we are more David-y than I let on, if I'm being honest about it, at least on paper. But you know what? They don't play the games on paper. Technically, we play them on the computer. But they get the edge everywhere except for J-Ram over Kobe Mayo and Kyle Stowers, their own guy, over Ryan Mountcastle. But Rutschman defeats Bailey, Manzardo over Josh Naylor, Holliday over Rocchio, Gunnar over Jimenez, Cowser over Valera, Dyron Blanco over Johnny DeLuca. Okay, now you're just being silly. Santander over Kerstead, and Grayson over Quintillo. Although Dyron Blanco's a 55. I mean, he's got a brilliant speed profile and a pretty strong defensive profile with a 60 BABIP. So you know what? Pardon me, Dyron Blanco. I was giving you short shrift there. I know you had a tough season, but you're a pretty talented ball player. All right, let's get into this. So, we are in Baltimore here. First batter will be Andres Jimenez against Grayson Rodriguez. 2-0 pitch coming. Now, probably won't get super animated. There's a sliding grab. Super animated, even on crazy big plays because it is relatively late at night and my girlfriend is sleeping. So I'll do my patented whisper yell, which you'll hear when something badass happens. But I won't be able to get as crazy as the previous series. We jumped to the 5th, and we are up 9-5. We did just give up 3 runs here in the 4th. We had a 9-2 lead. So shit has gone off the rails here a bit offensively. Quintillo smoked again, but Grayson uber smoked. And offense aplenty, as you might expect. We got a 3-run shot from Andres Jimenez. Jorge Valero also has I call him Jorge again. It's George Valera. And I think I said Valero a second ago too. Jesus. Who's Jorge Valero? We have George Valero. I don't know why I keep calling him Jorge. He's never gone by that as far as I know, at least within the context of baseball. And this is the second straight video that I've done that. Anyway, he had a huge 3-run homer. Got some doubles from J-Ram and Stowers. They've got homers galore. Cowser, Rutschman, freaking Manzardo has a 3-run homer. So there you go. First blood of revenge goes to him. Kersten's actually 0 for 3 with 4 left on, but Stowers has a hit and a rib. Okay, so Quintillo's out, Espino's in, which I do like. That's exactly who I would have gone to. We're hoping Espino can get multiple innings here. Aiken's at 34 pitches. I'm surprised they're sticking with him. I'm just going to half inning this, and we don't get anything. Espino's at 10 pitches there. We're going to go ahead and half inning this. Nothing for them. Top 6. We get 2 more runs. Let's go. Bottom 6. I'm going to throw somebody up here in the pen just in case. He should be good to go, but I'm going to have somebody ready just in case things go haywire. Nothing for them. Top 7. We got a runner on second with 1 out. Kerstead against Gavin Williams. 1-0. popped up on the infield. That'll be 2 down. And it'll be Stowers, full count. Ground ball to second, easy play to retire to the side. So we go to the bottom of the 7th, stretch time here in Baltimore. We're going to go to Arias, even though it's right, switch right. We do have a 6-run lead, so be a little less concerned about platoon matchups. And then we'll get Eflin warm in case we need to go to another pitcher here. But with Arias, we're just going to hit a half inning. And they get a run back, but that's okay. Top 8, we got a runner on second with it 1 out. Valera, 1-2, struck him out looking. And 2-0 to DeLuca. And he's going to flare one out to right. Sliding grab there by Santander to retire the side. Bottom 8 now. And Eflin already tiring. Jeez, I mentioned this last episode, but they tire quickly now. Which I do want to point out, again, it is fair. They should be. I'm just not used to it is all. Like, I want to be prepared and have somebody warmed up. Last year, they would just give you much more time for that. I think they overcorrected a little bit. That's all. All right, so Gunner's on second. He got on via the walk and then tagged up on a flyout. So Arias against Manzardo. They got Manzardo, Rutch, Mountcastle coming up. I'm going to go ahead and sit Eflin. And then we'll pitch to Manzardo, 2-2. We'll tapper to the mound. Should be an easy play. Yes, 2 down. And now Rutschman, 2-0 pitch. Ground ball to second. Jimenez over to first to retire the side. So we go to the 9th, up 11-6. We're going to hit a half inning for us at nothing. Okay, and then we're going to hit RISP. And it might be the end of the game, and if it is, that's fine. Pitcher's getting fatigued, dang it. When I saw it switch screen like that, I thought that was the end of the game, so I started to do a fist pump. I will call myself out. I was about to fist pump, y'all. All right, I said if we had to go to another pitcher after Arias, it was going to be Funderburk. I said it was going to be Eflin. I lied. We're going to Funderburk instead, but I am going to hit the RISP again. And ball game. So we win 11-6. Nice game 1 win there. And let's go ahead and update this. Espino gets the win with 3 no-hit innings. He walked 1 and struck out 4. He was brilliant. Remember, he had a really rough season. I don't think anybody, like, if I had been doing a Twitch chat or a Twitch stream where I would have had a live chat, I don't think anybody would have been advocating for him to not make the playoff roster. But it was a little dicey of, like, what role are we going to put him in? He was really rough during the season. 6.66 ERA, 158 whip. But the 21% strikeout minus walk, it's just too talented. I know he gives up too many homers, too many hits. Like, I don't know if I really buy it. I think he's better than that. So we decided we're going to trust him here in the playoffs. And we've been rewarded. He has 10 innings, 10 2/3 of a 2.53 ERA, 0.84 whip with a 24% strikeout minus walk. He's been our ace out of the pen. Him and Bybee. I got to give both of them major love. All right, game 2. Let's get into it. I think we gotta sim one of these first 4 games just outright in the interest of time. Again, I know some of y'all love the long episodes, and I do appreciate that. As somebody who watches other people's sims, I like the long episodes too. But I want to respect those of our folks who are a little bit shorter on time. So I'm going to go ahead and, let's see here. Last episode, yeah. The first 2 playoff episodes aren't up yet, but I know that they're getting lengthy. They're going to be lengthy. So 3 long episodes like that in a row is a bit rough. So I think this is the game to simulate. We took one at home. Worst case is we're going to go home tied, and we can deal with that. When I say we took one home, I meant to say took one on the road. So let's go ahead and simulate this game and see what we got. We lose 12-4. Okay, that's all right. I think it's worth it there in the interest of time. McKenzie was absolutely destroyed. Bybee did pitch, but it wasn't until later in the game when it was already out of hand. Eflin was the next guy in. That's the one thing I would have wanted to do, was to give Bybee, the chance to pitch like 4 or 5 innings right after if we would have managed the game. But we didn't really get to Burns or the bullpens, so I don't think it would have mattered. All right, game 3. It'll be Raylo v. Gray, unless they switch to Rogers for some reason. I don't think they're going to. But we'll see. Maybe. Oh, yeah, we get the off day coming home. That's right. I could have turned off the save for that, but whatever. Y'all might not even see that. I got an editor now. He might just skip that part. Who knows? Only he will know if he skips it. All right, Gray v. Raylo for game 3. We will get back in and play this one out. Holiday slams, 5 hits. Okay, we don't need all that bullshit. Why are we getting that email? Is it just because it was against our team? because he's not on a short list or anything. KBO's only bringing over one player, Min-Soo Kim. Okay. All right, game 3 in Cleveland here. Let's go ahead and get this updated that we are tied. And we do get the pitcher edge this time. So now we have 3 victories on the positional battle. Look at us. Wind blowing out to left. What does that say? Out to left at 11 miles an hour? Out to left at 11. All right. Are we going to have some righty feasters out here? Could be. Raylo. Full count to Gunner. And Gunner strikes out. Let's go. Let's jump right to the 5th. And we're down 3-0. We've been 1 hit thus far. John Gray dealing. One of my own faves smoking me. Unfair. Love John Gray. Kobe Mayo has a 2-run shot. Raylo's at 71 pitches. Let's go ahead and get the pen up. I think Espino could go. Our pen did get hit. Wow. It's actually a little bit nicked even after the off day. So imagine if we didn't have that off day. We would be in some real trouble. Well, Espino's going to have to step up, I think. I think we're going to need him for multiple innings here. We got nobody out. Top 5. Holiday, Cowser, Mayo coming up. I think we're going to have to get through one batter here with Raylo. Because I'm going to do this. I'm going to go full count to Holiday. Struck him out. Let's go. Mound visit. To be honest, I'm starting to tire. Excellent. Now both guys are ready. Bada bing, bada boom. Now, Cowser. Oh, he was terrible against lefties. Mayo, better against lefties, but pretty formidable against both sides. And then Manzardo. Oh my God, dead equal. Well, not technically dead equal, because that would mean it was the same number for both, but essentially 146, 145 WRC plus totals right and left. All right, so we don't really get much of a read there on who to go to. You know, you could say go to Henches because Cowser's not very good against lefties, but then Mayo and Manzardo are. Henches can go multiple innings, but it's only the 5th right now. I kind of want to see if Espino can maybe go 3 innings. So that's where I'm going to go. Now, he is only at 70%, 78%. So if he goes 3 innings here, he's probably going to need 2 days off. Well, actually, no, that'll be okay because he won't play the next game. Then we'll have an off day, and he'll be ready to go back in Baltimore. So that's not the worst thing. But we're kind of committing to this is going to be the only... Actually, no, is it 2-3-2? Either way, we might be committing to Espino here for one game, like one long appearance as opposed to 2 smaller ones, and I'm okay with that. All right, let's go ahead and hit a RISP here. Nothing for them. Bottom 5, nothing for us. Top 6, and they got a home run. Who hit that crap? Solo shot for Ced the Entertainer. Come on. And then they got Santander on second with a 3-0 count to Mountcastle. Make it 3-1, and that's going to be flared out to right, but playable, and reeled in. So they get the 1 run, but we head to the bottom of the 6th, down 4-0. We still have just 1 hit. It'll be Brady Fiegel in now. He's been in for a couple of batters. Only 4 1/3 from John Gray, only 76 pitches. So, I mean, stamina's 55. I'm kind of surprised with just the 1 hit allowed. I mean, he does have 3 walks, but I'm surprised that they kind of bailed on him that quickly. Whatever works, though. Let's see if we can get to Fiegel. Feigl? I'm not sure. Feigl Rock. Nothing for us in the 6th. Top 7. 23 pitches for Espino, and he's getting into the yellow. We got to be careful here. Let's go Henches. And I think we do 1 batter here for Espino. It'll be Gunner, and then 2 lefties, righty-lefty, coming up after that. Yeah, let's play it the way we did with Raylo. We pitched to Holiday, 2-1, or Henderson, 2-1. Base hit into right. We hit the mound visit. Fatigue setting in. Now, Henches is only warming. I'm going to push it. I'm going to push him in just warming. Hopefully that doesn't kill him. And they got runners at the corners, but with 2 outs. So not the end of the world there. So he came in, he struck out Holiday, got Cowser to fly out, and then gave up a single to Mayo. All in all, not too bad. Because Mayo's the righty, so I'm not that surprised. Now he gets Manzardo here. Lefty-lefty, but we know Manzardo can hit lefties. Let's see what happens. First pitch swinging. Manzardo, ground ball to second. Jimenez over to first. Got him. Let's go. So they've kind of kept it in check here. After going down 3-0, bullpen's only allowed 1 run in the last 4. The only problem is the offense hasn't been able to make any hay against Gray or Fiegel Fraggle Rock, whatever his name is. Let's see what Kjerstad, Stowers, and Bailey can do here. I'm going to hit a RISP. And we got Kjerstad on second with 1 out. He got a single and then grounded over to second. Go ahead and get Alamon warmed up. And 2-2 to Bailey. Base hit. Nope, that's a ground ball to second. I thought I had more juice on it and it was going to be a base hit up the middle. Instead, it's a ground out. It does advance the runner, but with 2 outs, we're going to need some luck or a hit to get this in. Full count to Rocchio. Walked him. All right, runners at the corners. It's going to be Yunier Cano coming in. He'll face Valera, a.k.a. Valera. I didn't even do the joke right. I meant to say a.k.a. Valero, and then I said his name properly. So then when I want to mess up his name, my brain refuses. All right, Valero. Jorge, what do you say now? Full count. Strikes out. All right, we're just getting dusted this game, man. The offense got nothing. All right, Hench is back out with 12 pitches, top 8. I'm going to hit a RISP, and they get nothing. It'll be Bautista for 2 innings here. DeLuca, Jimenez, Ramirez. I don't think DeLuca's taking this at bat. I think it's got to be a little Khalil Watson action to get us started, or DeLauder. I think we want a base runner. 50 BABIP, 45 high, 50 BABIP, 55 high for Watson. So I think Watson gives us the better chance at getting on base. And right now, that's what we need more than anything is base runners. So let's go Watson here over DeLuca. And then I might get a little cute with it here and throw Kjerstad in the center, Valera in the right, and Watson in the left. I know, a little silly, but I think he can handle it. But we'll deal with all that later. Let's see. 0-2 coming to Watson. This is Punchy City, baby. You already know. I told you. Pessimistic Pete out here. 1-0 to Jimenez. He's 0 for 3 on the day. Ground ball to second. Diving stop. Nice play there by Holiday. 2 down. J-Ram. 1-2. Cracked up the middle. Gets under the glove there of Gunner. 1 on, 2 out. Josh Naylor. 1-2. And he swings at that high pitch to strike out to retire the side. We head to the 9th, down 4-0. Henches at 18 pitches. He's probably already tanked for tomorrow. If we push him here, he might just be tanked for a couple days, and that's not ideal, but might just be what we have to deal with. Because I don't know if I want to burn Alamon here in a 4-0 game. Yeah, I'm going to try it here. I'm going to hit a RISP. And we get out of it. Let's go. All right, 4-0. We're going to have to mount a big comeback here. Let's see what Kjerstad can do. 1-1 pitch coming. He's going to lift one. Oh, and an excellent snag by Holiday. I thought that was soft serve into right center over the head of the infield, and Holiday just got up and made a great play. They say only 3 difficulty. The animation made it look like a 5-star difficulty, I'll tell you that. 1-1 to Stowers. He cracks one over to second. Holiday, much easier play there, 2 down. And now Bailey. That's going to be a ground ball up the middle. And we stay alive. 1-0 pitch to Rocchio. He's going to fly out to left, and that's the ball game. Wait, no, it got by him. Oh. Pessimistic Pete strikes again. Oh, my God. What the hell happened? I looked away for 1 second, and then I see the runners still going. What in God's name was that? Total botch job. Bonk. Wow. Oh, my God. 1 more base runner, and we bring up the tying run. Valera, what do you got? 2-1. That one's going to get away. We will not be shut out. Okay, that's a little something. If we can't come all the way back, that's at least like a little moral victory. I buy into some of that sometimes. 3-1 now. Take the walk. Let's go. Let's go, baby. The tying run at the dish in the form of Khalil Watson. We're going to go pitch by pitch here. We're taking first pitch. Low and inside for a sinker. Okay, that one's in there. 1-1. Watson swings through that one. Strike 2. 1-2 pitch coming from Bautista. Fastball low. 2-2. Where was that one? Oh, that was a strike, y'all. Okay, we got one there. You know I'm ready to bitch whenever we don't get them. I gotta be ready to call it fair when we do get a freebie there, and that was a freebie. All right, 2-2 pitch coming. Ooh, fouled off. That one was ripped. He went with the curveball there. I think you got to sit heat and adjust when he's bringing, upper 90s. The 2-2 again from Bautista. Fouls another one off. Watson staying alive. He'll take his time out here and gather his thoughts. Got the splitter there at 90 again. I think you just got to sit heat and adjust. Will he go back to the heater here? 2-2 pitch coming. Cracked. That one's going to get down into right field. Base hit. Gets beyond the outfielder. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. Oh, no. They're going to hold him at third. No sense making the last out at home, especially when it's not the tying run, but it is 4-2 with the tying run at second base and the top of the order coming up with Andres Gimenez. Meanwhile, Bautista's at 35 pitches, so he's definitely out for tomorrow and maybe out for the rest of the time here in Cleveland. Because, again, I think it is 2-3-2. It was last series. I don't know why I would have changed it for this one. So it should be 2-3-2, where we've got a couple more games here. All right, we're taking first pitch. Sinker in the dirt, taken again. Ball inside. All right, 2-0. Swing away if you got it. Strike called at the knees. Okay, he's waiting to see one. So 3 straight fastballs, a sinker and 2 heaters. The velo a little bit down, especially at 38 pitches, makes sense. Here comes the 2-1 offering. He takes that one, strike 2. Okay, getting maybe a little passive now. I got him on swing away for the last few pitches, so that's just a computer decision. All right, 2-2, what can you do? Struck him out. Damn it, Bautista gets the strikeout when he needs it. For those of you that maybe weren't looking at the screen, I changed it to being down 2-1. Quite a while ago, before that action happened there. So I went full pessimism. I did it when the error was happening, and then we had that little rally. I was definitely going to leave it and hoping it was creating some sort of like reverse positive jinx. It's funny because I talk about how like I don't believe in the no-hitter jinx. I'm not into all that sort of stuff. I will announce when somebody has a no-hitter, but then I do something like that. I'm like, oh, maybe that's helping us get some mojo. It's selective, right? The superstitions. Go full Michael Scott and say, I'm not superstitious. I'm a little stitious. Still one of the best lines, man. That shit was so funny. So we do have 2 more in Cleveland as expected. Again, I think that might, it's not just a moral victory there with regards to getting those runs. That might have taken out Bautista for the next 2 games. He's at 40 pitches, 33%, so he's 100% out today. And I don't know where he's going to be for the next game, for Game 5. So there was some real value to that. I am definitely happy about that. It sucks that we lost and we're down 2-1, but I can take a little bit of positivity from that. All right, Game 4, let's get into it. We got the lefty battle, Rogers v. Allen, and we got to get one at home here. Damn, we're down to 8-1-1 because Mountcastle and Valera are now tied somehow. Oh wait, it's the lefty lineup, so it might be a different matchup. They might not have been facing each other previously. We still get J-Ram over Mayo, but then everything else goes to Baltimore. Well, again, I'm not surprised. Wind blowing in from right at 10 miles, so we'll see how that affects things. If there's any long fly balls deep to right that kind of hit a wall there. All right, first batter is Holiday, and he's swinging first pitch. It looks. Oh no, it's on pitch by pitch. I always forget that. Now 0-1 coming in from Allen, and he's going to flare that one into left for a base knock. So they get it going with a base hit. Let's jump right to the 5th, though, and we're down 5-0 with just 1 hit. They had a 4-run barrage there in the first. Bybee is in, which is the move I definitely would have made, so I do appreciate that. Here's the thing. Some of y'all might be like, well, don't go all the way to the 5th inning, whatever. The only thing that would have changed would maybe be, did he give up all 5 runs? Yeah, maybe the 5th run. We might be down 4-0. The only thing I would have done differently is maybe take him out a little bit sooner. When did he give up that 5th run? In the 3rd? Let's see how it came about. In the third, he went walk, walk. Okay, I might have taken him out right there. So you can say maybe that changes things a little. But I'm not going to be too upset about that. I wouldn't have changed things all that much. So we're definitely up against it. We got to figure some shit out right here. Let's go ahead and hit a risp with Bybee because he's at 26 pitches. We need him to kind of get through this inning. He does not, though. Runner on second with one out. Double by Manzardo. And let's see what Rutschman does here. 2-2. And that one's cracked deep to center. Looks playable, though. It'll be reeled in by DeLuca. 2 down, and it'll be Mountcastle. He's swinging first pitch. He's going to lift one deep to center, but playable. That one looked like it had much better trajectory off the bat. Ended up being a pretty routine fly. The problem right now is we have no offense, y'all. We can't get anything going in these last couple games until the 9th inning of last game, and then nothing so far this game. 4 innings, 1 hit off of Rogers, and 1 walk. So until we get the offense going, we're in trouble. I think we're going to go to Funderburk because they've got Santander, who sucks against lefties, Blanco, who just isn't a very good hitter in general, and then the three lefties at the top of the order. So I'm going to go ahead and sit Eflin. I'm going to hit a risp for us, and we get nothing. God dang it, dude. They warmed up Arias? Actually, I don't hate that because Funderburk's tiring. I almost sat Funderburk down, but I didn't know, I didn't want him to go to cold, and I don't know what the time is there. How much time do you have? Can you do a whole half inning and they won't go all the way down to cold? I don't know. Either way, they had another lefty warmed up, so that's fine. We can go to either of them. I think it's just a matter of which one I want to go with. I'm still going to go with Funderburk, actually. I know he's on the tiring thing. I don't know how much that hurts them. Maybe you just can't get quite as much juice, but I still like him for this inning here, and I am going to hit a risp. Please be clean. It is not. Dairon Blanco's on second. Strikeout, walk, strikeout, and then Blanco stole second. Okay, that's fitting. And it is Dairon, by the way. I thought it was just Darren, but it is Dairon, if you were wondering. All right, Funderburk against Cowser here. 2-1 pitch. Little flare job to short. Nice play there by Rocchio. Or Jimenez. I keep putting Jimenez at second. I keep forgetting that we made that change because in real life, he's the second baseman. So I called the play earlier where I said that Jimenez made a play, but it was the second baseman, Brian Rocchio. Excuse me on that. All right, bottom 6. I mean, we're down 5-0, and so in the interest of time, I'm going to hit another risp until we show that we are worth a batter-to-batter situation. And we're still not. We still have 1 hit, too. We're not even getting hits and stranding anybody. We are just getting stone-cold blasted. This is bad, y'all. I'm going to hit a risp here with Fundy a little bit nervously, but it worked. Let's go. All right, bottom 7. They're going to bring in our boy Gavin Williams, and here's hoping that we can maybe get to him. We got Rocchio, Naylor, Fry. We got to hit a risp. 2 on, 2 out. All right, DeLuca. Actually, I don't know if you're going to get the opportunity, my brother. I'm sorry. Yeah, we need somebody that can really do the damage, potentially. If it was a lefty, I might give DeLuca the opportunity to be the hero. He's got a very clear platoon split favoring his work against lefties. I can't trust him in this position here. I think we go to Watson again. Actually, you know what? We need a bomb. I'm going to go to Naylor. Bo, I should say. I'm going to go to Bo. Don't forget, we have 3 catchers on the team. In fact, since this was a lefty lineup, David Fry started at catcher. So we've still got Bailey as well if we need a backup catcher. So we're golden from that standpoint. Big time. So I can go Bo here. And we could leave Bo in if we want. So for now, I'm going to put him in left field. But we'll make a decision on that in a moment. But it's an option. And that way we don't have to use an extra asset if we don't want to. But let's see if he can be a hero. 1-1 pitch. Cracked. Deep. That one's going to get down. It's a double in the gap. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. Bo Naylor with a 2-run double advances to third on the throw, and it's 5-2. Comes up big. Atta baby Bo. Needed it. Love it. An opportunity for him to really show something to us, and he took advantage. And I am so here for it. Now, can Valera get him in and give us 3 runs this inning? Let's go. 1-0. Valera popped up on the infield. All right. Well, that's something. That's something. All right, let's keep going here. Sorry, I was one of the baseball games ended, and I was just going to put something else on it. But do I really need something on? I'm not watching it anyway. And it's late at night. Most of the games are over anyway. All right, top 8. Funderburk is cooked. Eflin tiring, of course, but we're going to put him in. And 3-run deficit. 3-run deficit this late says we still go RISP. But we get clean. Let's go. Nothing for them. At least nothing of consequence. It was 3 up, 3 down. Ground out, fly out, fly out. And Naylor is still in left. I'm okay with that. It'll be Stowers, Jimenez, Ramirez. See, because what I like is that Bo might get another plate appearance. And I like the opportunity for him to maybe go yard again, especially if it was in a situation where maybe he can give us a tie or the lead. All right, let's play batter to batter here. 2-2, bottom 8. Struck him out. Hunter Green's in, by the way. Jimenez, 2-2. Struck him out. 1-0 to Ramirez. At least Green won't strike him out. But it is a ground out to first. And he makes quick work of the top of the order there. Well, it was 9-1-2. But either way, still 3 really good hitters. Shit. All right, Eflin. You know what you got to do here. Blanco, Holiday, Westberg. Got to hit him with a RISP. And they got 2 on, 2 out. All right. Kobe Mayo's up. Very scary. Does his best work against the lefties, though. So I can't bring in Arias. That would just be major trouble. So we gotta give Eflin the opportunity to get out of his own mess here. 1-2. Got him looking. There we go. Oh, wait, no, that ball got away. Oh, my God. When it's, I don't want to say it froze, but like when it didn't do anything there, I thought he caught it, and I just didn't hear the strike 3 call because that happens with some regularity. Because I don't have the volume up very high, and sometimes it's just very, the sound in the game is just very low. Turns out it was getting past Fry. And I will say, I maybe should have gone to Bailey late game here as the catcher. I will rectify that mistake right now. Because here's the thing. In the 9th, it's probably just going to be Green again. So we don't really want Fry batting anyway. You know? And hopefully that doesn't cost us anything. 2-2 now. And line to first, caught by Naylor. To retire the side. Caught by Josh. Now I really do have to say the first names because both are in the game. All right, bottom 9. We knew Hunter Green would come back out. It'll be Rocchio, Naylor, Patrick Bailey. We'll see if it's Bailey. Depends if anybody's on base. Full count. And Rocchio strikes out looking. Okay, that's a borderline pitch, but it was fair call. It wasn't egregious. All right, Josh, 0-1. And that was going to be lifted to right for a base hit. Let's go. And we're in business. Tying run is on deck right now. So at least it's, within the scope. If you're trying to hype yourself up with like, oh, the tying run is 9th in the hole type shit, well, then you're in trouble. But being on deck, that's something. Question is, do we stick with Bailey? Actually, that is not a question because, well, no, it is a question. That's the beauty of having Bo. It's because we can do a pinch hitter, and then Bo can just catch if we tie the game. Now, I love what Bailey did for us. He came over. He was a real capable guy, decent enough hitter, and a great, great catcher. We have to pinch hit here, right? Like, we just have to. I don't even think it's really that big of a question. It's Watson v. DeLauder, and Watson just has the better opportunity to get on base with the 55i. It's 10 points better than DeLauder. It's got to be him. And, again, we can make this a one-asset move by moving Bo to catcher and Khalil Watson to left field. There we go. Assuming we even tie it. All right, runner on second. 2-0 to Watson. Oh, little tapper to the mound. But he's going to beat it out. Oh, infield hit for Khalil Watson. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I got my sunken shoulders, a little puppy dog crybaby when I thought it was a ground out. But Watson busted it out of the box, and Green couldn't get the handle to make the play. All right, The tying run is at the dish in the form of former Baltimore Oriole Heston Kjerstad. Got to go pitch by pitch for this one. We're going to take the first pitch. Oh, they're thrown over. We're not going anywhere. Don't worry. Ball's in there for a strike. Oh, no. I don't want to quit. What the hell? I don't even know what I hit up there. Oh, I think my mouse cursor was over the X, and could you imagine? Anyway, we're taking again. Oh, got behind 0-2 with 2 takes. Oh, well. You live and die by the take. That one's fouled off. Let's do 0-2 again. That one is lifted to right, but foul. Okay. I saw that Watson was going, so I was moderately encouraged by it, but then Josh wasn't going, so I didn't think it was going to land fair. Because sometimes you can get clues based off if the runners are going, if a ball is going to be fair. All right, we'll do 0-2 again to Kjerstad. And he lifts one. Oh, foul. He leaned on that one, but foul. Crushed that changeup. He's sitting fastball and adjusting. Is it thundering? Is it about to rain here in the middle of the night? Maybe. All right, 0-2 again to Kjerstad. And that pitch goes for a ball. Oh, yeah, big time rain coming. Oh, I hope the power doesn't go out. God, that would suck. All right, 1-2 to Kjerstad. And he rips that one to left. And that one gets foul. So he's gone deep foul on both sides of the field now. Battling here. This has turned into an 8-pitch battle. Despite going down 0-2 immediately, Kjerstad is grinding. Green grabs the rosin bag, steps back in. 1-2 pitch. Fouls off another one. Resetting the sequence, Green opened with a 90-mile-an-hour slider for a called strike, 100-mile-an-hour fastball for another called strike, 3 straight fouls, changeup, slider, changeup, then a slider outside for ball 1, then a foul slider, and then the first fastball in 6 pitches, also foul. Where will he go here? 1-2 pitch. That one's going to be flared and foul. Oh my God. What an at-bat for Kjerstad, y'all. Here it comes, the 10th pitch. That one was a slider, by the way. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sliders, 1, 2 fastballs, and 2 changeups so far. Pitch 10, 1-2. Here it comes. And it hits him. Oh my God. Hunter Green hits him on a 1-2 pitch, the 10th pitch of the at-bat. That will load up the bases for Bo Naylor. Bo came in a couple innings ago in a pinch hit situation, ripped a 2-run double to get the team on the board. Now here he is, bottom 9, with an opportunity to do a lot of different things here. Keep the merry-go-round going and get a run in, get a couple runs in, tie it up, or walk it off. Everything's on the table right now. First pitch coming. Inside ball 1. The 1-0 to Bo Naylor. In there for a strike. Oh, that was a hanging changeup, man. I think you got to jump on that. I did hit swing away on that one, in fairness. The 1-1 to Bo Naylor. And he takes the same exact pitch again. Okay, that's a fastball, but it's in the same zone, kind of that looping high pitch. That one was an unfair strike. Oh, man. Oh, wait, it was a ball. I'm an idiot. I'm a stone cold moron. I misread like 15 different things there. A, it was a ball. 2, it was the slider here, not this fastball. But 3, it definitely was a ball. It was out. I did have that part right. But it's 2-1. Panic dialed back down. I'm an idiot. 2-1 pitch coming. Swings through that one, strike 2. Was way late on the 89-mile-an-hour slider. Maybe just caught in between and pulled the trigger randomly. Bo will take his time out here and gather his thoughts. Where will Hunter Green go? It's been fastball, changeup, slider, slider. Does he go back to the heat, or does he pull the string here? The 2-2 offering. Tap foul. Stays alive. It was the heater indeed. Naylor was on it, but just missed. The 2-2 again. In there, strike 3. Oh my God, where was that? Oh, nasty pitch. Just a fastball down and away. Just filthy at 102. Dialed it up, fastest pitch of the inning. And that's going to leave it up to George Valera, a.k.a. Jorge Valero. That's what his real friends call him. And I don't think we go to DeLauder. The eye and the power are going to keep Valera in. All right, Green is up at 39 pitches. Can we punish him here? That one's low, ball one. The 1-0. Valera takes that one, ball two. Sitting 2-0 now. It's been a fastball changeup. The fastball was at 100. The changeup at 81. 19-mile-an-hour difference. Let's see what Valera gets here. Will it be the slider, or will we go back to one of the first two pitches? The 2-0. Valera, tapper, Green, has it. Makes the play, retires the side, ball game. So the Guardians threaten big time in the ninth, but it's too little too late. And we go down 3-1. This team is just too tough, man. We're just getting these small spurts of offense. And it's just not enough, clearly. You can't just wait till the last second to finally get some offense going. Damn it, dude. That was intense, though. It's still pretty dope. Obviously bummed that we lost again, but what a game. All right, last one here in Cleveland. Let's go ahead and sim the day and save just in case the power goes out. Down 3-1. Can we get it back to Baltimore? Now, we were in the same situation last series, albeit against a lesser team, and that's more of a praising of Baltimore than any sort of critique on Minnesota. That Minnesota ball club was very good, but they're not this club, right? And that's all I'm saying. Let's see what we got here. We got Grayson Rodriguez against Joey Cantillo. Cantillo was absolutely trounced last time out. Let's see if he can give us a big start here. Here we go, game 5. Oh, I want to look at one thing real quick. Hang on. Pardon me. See what their bullpen's looking like. Do they have Green or Bautista available? Bautista's, okay, he got up to 70%. So he's certainly usable if they need him. Green is not available. Okay, I wasn't sure if Bautista would have 2 days out or not after that big 40-pitch performance. But they could definitely use him if they needed to. All right, here we go. We need the offense to step up against Grayson. Like, that's just all there is to it. I'm not even doing the ceremonial first batter. I'm going half innings here. Clean first for both teams. Top 2, couple zeros. Top 3, they get 3 fucking runs. There's such a big strike offense too, right? It's like when they score, it's almost always going to be multiples. 2-run shot by Gunner was the big damage. Damn it. Ground out, single, fly out, single scores a run, and then the 2-run shot. Fuck. All right, bottom 3, we get nothing. Top 4, nothing for them. Bottom 4, we get 1 back. Okay. Top 5, 42 pitches for Cantillo. I'm going to get somebody warming just in case. Because we're going to hit the half inning. I don't want it to explode and be like, oh, your pitcher's dead. Half inning, nothing. They get the run right back. Son of a bitch, dude. Hey, we get 2 runs. Bottom 5 here. 2-run shot from Josh Naylor. Let's go. All right, it's 4-3 now. Let's hit another RISP. All right, that's all we get. But it's 4-3. 56 pitches now for Cantillo. It's going to be Henderson, Mayo, Manzardo. Let's give him Henderson. 2-2. That one's going to be caught in right. 1 down. Arias and Alamon. Alamon's ready. It's Mayo, Manzardo, Rutschman. Rutschman's another guy who's like dead even, split. As a switch hitter, obviously that's to be expected. All right, I'm gonna push Cantillo a little bit here. I mean, he's ostensibly our ace. Like, we need him to do well here as he gets a line out. And 0-2 to Manzardo. There we go. 3 up, 3 down. After we scored 2, that's what we freaking needed, man. We needed that. Can't just cut and run every time one of our starters struggles, man. They got to step up. All right, bottom 6. Tyler Wells is in now. We're going to hit another RISP. Hopefully with some good news. We do get some good news. There are 2 outs, but there's 2 on. Fly out, walk, fly out, walk. All right, so 2 walks. We got to punish them. Look who's up. J-Ram. 1-2 pitch coming from Wells. Tapper to the mound. Easy play for Wells to retire the side. Threaten but do not score. Down 4-3 going top 7. It'll be Rutschman now. Cantillo still only at 67 pitches. So I'm inclined to kind of stick with him here a bit and see what he can do. 3-0 to Rutsch, who's 2 for 2 on the day. And that one is ripped into the gap. A 3-0 double for Rutsch. God, he's so good. Unbelievable. It'll be Mountcastle now, who destroys lefties. Only 85 plate appearances, but oh my God. All right, Alamon. Your time to shine here, baby. What do you say? Franco Alamon, 2-2. Struck him out. 1-1 to Santander. And that's going to be doinked into right for a base hit. Rutschman coming around. And he'll score. Make it 5-3. 0-2 to Dairon Blanco. He lifts one to right. But that's going to stay up and playable. 2 down. And it'll be Holiday. And that one's going to get away. Full count to Holiday now. And he strikes out. So they get a run back. Make it 5-3. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Josh Naylor, Heston Kjerstad, and Kyle Stowers against Wells. So we get 3 lefties. Like, we really couldn't ask for anything better. But we got to make something out of it. All right. 1-2 to Naylor. And he strikes out. 0-1 to Kjerstad. Flares one into left for a base hit. Tying run will come up in the form of Stowers. Keegan Aiken going to come in, the lefty. And Stowers held his own against lefties this year, but really didn't play much against them. 36 plate appearances. We really didn't put him in those situations by design. And I think we're gonna hold to that here by bringing in probably David Fry. Yeah, I think we go David Fry here. All right, let's see what David Fry can do against the lefty. 0-1 pitch coming. Sky deep to center, or not deep, medium depth to center. I meant to say high, and he drops it. Oh my God. Dairon Blanco was camped under that one. It was an easy can of corn, but he dropped it. Kjerstad gets to second, Fry over at first. Oh my God. Another error. I say another in reference to the other game where we scored a couple runs. Now, they ended up being okay from that. Can we make this error hurt? That is the question. Bailey, I'm going to stick with him here because I still like what he can do behind the dish enough to give him this at-bat here as opposed to going to a pinch hitter. If it was the 9th inning, that'd be a different story. Right now in the 7th, let's give him the opportunity to be a hero. 1-1. Ground ball to second. Flips to short, back to 1 double play. So pretty much the opposite of a hero there as he totally fails. Top 8. And we do a RISP, and they hit a leadoff triple. Fucking sweet, dude. All right, Gunnar, Mayo, Manzardo. Oh, boy. Alamon's at 20 pitches. He's much better against righties, but he doesn't suck against lefties. So I'm more comfortable when the split is like that. I mean, and Gunnar just kills everybody. So he's actually better against lefties from a WRC plus standpoint. So it's not like there's any reprieve if we bring in Henches. Oh, wow. I do pitch by pitch. The ball kicks away and the run scores anyway. All right. Who gives a fuck? Not only are they better than us, but nothing's going our way either. There's a strikeout at least. Like, that's the tough part. It's one thing to be outclassed talent-wise, which we are. And that's just because they're awesome. I don't think it's because we suck or anything. We're just not at their level yet. But then all the little 50-50s are going their way too. Just to, make things that much more difficult. Full count pitch coming. Struck him out. 2 down. It'll be Manzardo. Ground ball to first. Easy play for Josh to retire the side. But they get a run. See, these little knick-knack runs that just make it too hard for us to compete too, especially when our offense is pretty much gone cold. Bautista in for the 2 innings. No surprise there. But now at 70%, we might be able to get to him in that 2nd inning if we can't do it here in the 1st. Rocchio coming up. He's swinging first pitch, but it's a grounder to second. Easy play for Holiday. Valera 0-2. Lifted to right. Playable. Unless he just plain drops it. Nope, 2 down. And then DeLuca, 1-2. Struck him out. All right. Alamon is officially tired. All right, we'll go to Arias here. And I'm going to hit a Risp. 2 on, nobody out. Sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. I should have just gone to Henches. And we're going to go to him now because we need some strikeouts if we're going to get out of this unscathed. Ground ball to short. Flips to second. Back to 1. Double play. Yes. I thought it was going to be too short. Or too softly hit to get a double play there. That's huge. We could get out of this now with nothing. Dairon Blanco, full count. Don't walk Dairon Blanco, dude. Come on. How you walking Dairon Blanco? No offense, Dairon Blanco, but some offense. 2-2 strikes out Holiday. Okay. All that bitching for nothing. All right. It's do or die, y'all. Down 3-1 in Game 5. Or down 3-1 in Game 5. Down 6-3 in the game against Bautista. He only had 9 pitches last inning, too, so we didn't even really work him into a tough pitch count, so it'll be tough to get him back here. 1-2 to Jimenez. Strikeout. 1-1 to Ramirez. Ground ball to second. 2 down. And Josh Naylor. 3-1 pitch coming. Walked him. We're still alive. Kerstead. 0-1. And that one's going to be reeled in by a Gunnar Henderson to end the series. And Baltimore is headed to the World Series after beating us 4-1. We were just outclassed, y'all. And frankly, that's okay. Right? Obviously, I don't like losing. But we weren't the better team. This is kind of our step one in the ascent to what I hope is at least one World Series title, if not multiples. And I got to be honest, if we had just stormed through here and gotten the World Series easily this year, I would have been happy. Don't get me wrong. But it would have been a little bit surprising. I didn't think we were quite a World Series team. Once you get in the dance, as I say all the time, you never know. So I wouldn't have been shocked or saying that we didn't deserve it or whatever. It's just not what I was expecting. I did not have high hopes for beating this team. And I know I make the jokes about being pessimistic Pete and all that. I'm not trying to be a sourpuss or anything. I also like to be realistic, right? Look at this Baltimore team. Who are you favoring against them right now? And it's going to be like this in real life if they continue to pan out on the trajectory that they're looking like they're going to be going on. So, tip the cap to them. They're awesome. I hope we get them again. I hope this becomes a situation where, oh God, it's Guards Orioles again. It's Guards Orioles again. And if that's the case, hopefully we start to get some of them and kind of move forward. But again, I'm not terribly surprised that we take the L here. But I will say, nice little tidy hour and a half here in recording. We'll see what it ends up being after the edits. But I try to be a little bit more mindful of these being long. And again, nobody's bitched. Everyone seems to like them even when they are a little bit longer with the playoffs. But I know that it's a big commitment when we do make a playoff run to watch all of them. So I did want to be a little bit more mindful of that here, especially because, again, going in, I didn't think that we were necessarily going to win. I didn't want to space it out into a really long 2.5 hour video only to lose to them. So anyway, that'll wrap it up. We'll have to see if St. Louis or the Cubs will be the Orioles' opponent there in the World Series. We'll wrap that up, and then we'll start laying the groundwork for the offseason here. And I think the weather's getting worse, so before it knocks out the power, I'll go ahead and peace out. We'll get the offseason started next time. Take care.